Good morning. This is Father Stephen Kelly from St. John's Church in Detroit. We're continuing our series of daily morning meditations where we generally look at one or another lessons that are assigned for morning or evening prayer, what is known as the daily office lectionary. And today for Tuesday, let's take a look at the lessons that's assigned from the letter of St. James. And it's a good one. It's a short one, but man, is it full, it's jam-packed, full of important stuff. James chapter 1, beginning at verse 22. Be doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. For if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass. For he beholdeth himself and goeth his way, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was. But whoso looketh unto the perfect law of liberty and continueth therein, he being not a forgetful hearer, but a doer of the work, this man shall be blessed indeed. If any man among you seem to be religious, and bridleth not his tongue, but deceiveth his own heart, this man's religion is vain. Pure religion and undefiled before God and the Father is this, to visit the fatherless and the widows in their affliction, and to keep himself unspotted from the world. Okay, so James, we're talking about the first chapter, right? In the middle of that first chapter, here he comes. Look, you can't just hear the word of God, right? And of course, James is writing this. There are epistles floating around, but not gospels in a written form that we're used to. But so he's talking about the word that's been orally transmitted as well as the written words that you're seeing from these epistles. So he says, you have to be doers of the word. You can't just hear them and say, well, isn't that nice? And yes, I believe that's true. And then go on living as if you were doing your own thing. We are to take those words and take them to heart. And by extension, of course, the Gospels themselves as the Word of God and Jesus Christ himself as the Word of God, right? We need to be doers of this. We can't just be listeners. We can't be hearers, right? And he goes on to say that if you seem to be religious, right? If you put on the affectations of religion, you're showing up for worship, and thank God you should do that, and you're going through all the motions, but you don't bridle your tongue. In other words, you're not being charitable towards each other. You're allowing yourselves to spout off, gossip, slander, all those sort of things. You're deceiving yourself, right? That's not the faith. And so what is the faith? Well, it's service, right? Visit the fathers and the fatherless and the widow in their afflictions, right? So you're reaching out to others and you're providing pastoral care, and not just a pastor who does that, but reaching out to the others in love and caring and kindness to them, and to keep yourself unspotted from the world. In other words, you're not falling into the lust of the world. You're not falling into the running after things of material gain over and above your faith in Jesus Christ, right? We can't allow ourselves to be caught up in all of that madness when we need to be listening to the Word of God and seeing how it transforms our lives and how it transforms us. That's real religion right there. Caring for others and learning how to be in the world but not of the world, living according to God's holy will and purpose. So today's Tuesday. We have Holy Communion at 12:15. Evening prayer at 4 o'clock. It'll be the last day this week we have public worship. I'm doing a little bit of traveling during the week, rest of the week. So let's make sure that if it's important to get to a weekday service, and I would recommend it, I'd encourage it. Today's your last opportunity here at St. John's Church. But I hope that you have a Tuesday that is full of blessings.